the mission of Toastmasters. We provide supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Now, let's put all our noise-making devices on a silent mode so that we do not disturb the speaker or other members. And I request you that during the meeting, please do not move. If you have to, then please wait till speaker to finish and applause to start. One more request, please don't indulge in crosstalk during the meeting as it disturbs the protocol. You can freely network during the break or at the end of the meeting. A few more instructions. Restrooms are at the first floor to the left and drinking water is on your left hand side. Thank you, and with this I welcome our presiding officer, Toastmaster Arvind Nair. Just let me introduce Mr. Arvind Nair. He is currently the club president for Bombay Toastmasters and also district secretary of our district, that is District 41. He is one of the chartered members of our Bombay Toastmasters. He has performed multiple roles in Toastmaster Club and mentored many members. So please join hands and welcome Mr. Arvind Nair.
Thank you, good evening, fellow Toastmasters. I call meeting number 169. Before we begin, I'd like Tina to come up here. Remember, there has been International and my club, I promise to attend all club meetings regularly, to prepare all of my speeches to the best of my ability, basing them on the projects and the communication and leadership program manual or the advanced communication and leadership program manuals. I will. To willingly prepare for and fulfill meeting assignments. I will. To provide fellow members with helpful, constructive evaluations. I will. To help the club maintain the positive, friendly environment necessary for fellow members to learn and grow. To willingly serve my club as an officer when called upon to do so. I will. To treat my fellow club members and our guests with respect and courtesy. I will. To bring great guests to club meetings so they can see the benefits Toastmasters membership offers. I will. To adhere to the guidelines and rules for all Toastmasters educational and recognition programs. I will. To maintain honest and highly ethical standards during the conduct of all Toastmaster activities. I will. Thank you, and you are now inducted members of Toastmasters. Can we have a show of hands for yes, please? You are an ex-member. Continue to be our Toastmaster. Alright. Can I have a few of you come up here, tell us your name, you have a minute to tell us how you found out about Toastmasters and what you expect from it. Come. State your name.
Hi everyone, my name is Janki Nayak and I'm chartered accountant by profession. I have got a reference of this club from my organization and I'm expecting only one thing from this club, that it will help me to come over my fear of speaking in public. That's it.
Hi, my name is Pankaj. Same as that, I would like to reduce my fear of speaking public. This is one of my this year's resolution that I want to be a better communicator and don't want to listen to my voice.
My name is Sobha and I am studying animation right now, and I wanted to improve my communication as I have always been an introvert, so I am not used to speaking much with people. So that's why I joined here.
My name is Dadar. I found this club on the aware of International Toastmasters quite some time. I was to attend the club. Thank you very much.
I am Arun Pawar. I am a movement banker by profession. I knew about Toastmasters for long, so around I think 4 years back I came to know about Toastmasters. I joined Bombay Toastmasters for 6 months period. So again this year setting my resolution, New Year resolution that I will think again restart the communication inside the church, because I can then improve my communication, because that is very much needed for my job. So that's what I.
The principal of a school in Texas, USA, wanted his school to gain a name. And so he decided that he would ensure that his teachers and children worked towards that. What he did was to pick up 30 children from the class and have them tutored by 3 of the good teachers in his school, so that they fared well and could bring the school some name. So the children were very enthusiastic that they were called up and picked up to do this job. The teachers felt happy that they were nominated to teach the children. And the parents felt so happy that their child or their ward was there to bring fame to the school. And so they said, okay, we won't go on our holidays, but let the child go to school and improve and do his projects. The teachers said, we have a job, let's do it for our children. And the children said, we have been picked, so let's do our best. And so at the end of the year, the children fared extremely well and the school gained a name. And then the principal said, the teachers felt very happy and said, oh, they have done it. So the principal said, no, it was you who taught the children. But those children that you taught were not the brightest. I just picked them up by the lot and just formed a group. And the teachers thought, how could that be? But they were so brilliant. Were we brilliant? Or did he feel that we were the top teachers? Probably what we did helped the child. And then the principal said, no. What I did was, put all the teachers' names into a hat and happened was that everybody was just one of them, but they did something which went on to bring fame to the school. That was a way of positive thinking and positive attitude that they had. And in Toastmasters, if you have listened carefully to the mission, it said we provide a positive and supportive learning environment. And so I would say, yes, you are at the right place. There would be no fear. This is the best place to make mistakes and not be laughed at, because we are all in it together. We would have the meeting in 3 parts: the prepared speech, the impromptu speech, that's the table topic speech, and the third would be the evaluation round. So we'll begin the meeting, and to start, may I call upon the grammarian for today.
Everybody, Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As grammarian, it is my responsibility to listen to everything said during the meeting and to note and report any particularly effective uses of grammar and or any grammatically incorrect speech. As grammarian, it is also my task to present the word of the day. For today's meeting, the word is aficionado. It's a noun. It means a person who is very knowledgeable and enthusiastic about an activity, subject or pastime. You can see, this coffee is regarded by aficionados as one of the world's finest, or I am amidst of aficionados. In order to qualify for the vote for best table topic speaker, each table topic speaker must use the word of the day during his or her extemporaneous speech. I will give a word of the day report and grammatical usage report when called for. Thank you.
Before we go forward, I admit I made a little mistake. May I have Tina up on stage to give the product.
Respected President, my fellow Toastmasters, honored guests, my thought of the day today is never judge a book by its cover. Sometime back, I was traveling in a train where I saw a 20-year-old boy sitting with his parents looking out the window. There was another couple seated right adjacent to me. This boy, 20-year-old boy, looks out the window and says, "Dad, look, the trees are going behind." The dad smiled. Again, sometime later, he looks out and says, "Mom, look, the clouds are flying with us." The couple sitting right adjacent to me smirked. The man walked to the father and said, "Sir, may I request that you take your son to a doctor?" The father said, "I did, sometime back. We're just returning from there. My son was born blind. He just got his eyes straight." What did we learn? Every person in this universe has a story. We must always respect that story. Knowingly or unknowingly, we must never judge book by its cover. Thank you so much.
And now, to take the meeting further, may I call upon a Toastmaster, an entrepreneur, and who just started out training. Please put your hands together for Rizwan.
Good evening, President, fellow Toastmasters and guests. It is my privilege and pleasure to welcome you to Bombay Toastmasters. This evening is quite special because we have a joint session of Bombay Toastmasters and Dadar Toastmasters who are going to be combining their speeches. We also have our Maroon Toastmasters as a participant. Today we have a theme which is very close different picture to say. Let's talk about freedom. What really is freedom? Freedom is an opportunity to live your life as you want to live it. However, people spend their lives talking vaguely of what they want to, what they think they are missing, why they won't have it, and who is that who prevents them from achieving it. For most of the people, freedom is an if only my wife would have been so, I would have been successful. If only my boss would have helped me, I would have been promoted. Now this is something that people have never fully repressed their urge of freedom. Whether they consider themselves to be imprisoned by family, job, society, or government. Now let us start the most exciting part of this evening, which is the speech lined up for you. There are 5 speeches. As Toastmaster of the day, it is my duty to introduce to you role players who will assist us in running the program. To keep a track of the time, we have with us Toastmaster Kasim, who will be the timer for the day. Mr. Toastmaster.
Can I take 10 more seconds more? 10 seconds. Just please get my name, the spelling of my name correct. Because a lot of speculation, right? Just drop this I, always I. And you, we blame on people, you. Just drop this I, and this you, and life is a bliss. My name stands for bliss. Kasim. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests, as timer, my duty is to type prepared speeches, table topic speeches, and speech evaluations during this meeting. When the speaker reaches the minimum time allotted, I will display the green card. When the speaker reaches the midpoint of time range allotted, I will display the yellow card. When the speaker reaches the end of his speaking time, I will display the red card. The speaker has 30 seconds grace time before the green or after the red card is displayed to end the speech in order to qualify for the vote. I will report qualifying times when called for. Mr. Toastmaster.
What freedom for me is. Walking down the streets one afternoon, suddenly I feel droplets on my cheek and suddenly the drizzle of rain coming on. What would I do? In unusual circumstances, I would just go on my way doing what I would. But my heart says, I would like to dance in the rain. How many of you have felt something like this every time? Just throw away your reservations and dance in the rain. But are we really free when we talk about this? We think about what do people say, what would they think about us. But that is not freedom. Although we say we are free, we have so many reservations with us. Now, let me call upon our counter, Mr. Sachin, to give us the details.
Good evening, friends.
Good evening. Good evening.
My duty as a counter is to listen attentively to each speaker. Make a note of the following use by the speaker. A. The crunch sounds are B. The filler words like but, like, so, okay. Filler phrases, you know, and so, etc. And extremely long pause.
When called upon, my report will give an account of all these speaking errors.
Let us see how we lose our freedom. We lose our freedom when we let others determine what's right or wrong for us. We lose our freedom when we try to be interested in something because it's expected of us. We lose our freedom if we allow others to define labels and impose them upon us. So are we all doing that in our day-to-day lives? If we are not free. The real definition of freedom would be able to express and be free to do whatever we want in our lives. So let's get on to the amazing list of speeches lined up today. We have 5 speeches, and the first speaker of this session will be giving his P2 speech. The evaluator for this speech is Toastmaster Rahul. I will request Toastmaster Rahul to give the details of the evaluation, please.
Speakers Anush is attempting his projective from corporate communication manual, and the objectives of P2 speech are select an appropriate outline which allows listener to easily follow and understand your speech. Make your message clear with supporting material directly contributing to that message. Use appropriate transitions when moving from one idea to another. Create a strong opening and conclusion. I will please note the time 5 seconds.
So today we have with us a dynamic young Toastmaster who just started his journey in Toastmasters, will be giving his P2 speech. Toastmaster Anush, I would like to request Toastmaster Anush to come forward.
Everyone, just a quick one. How many of you just get out of the sports section first before glancing through the entire newspaper? Okay. This is for you. Earl Warren, 14th Chief Justice of the United States of America, quoted in one of his interviews, "I always turn on the sports section first because the sports section has people's accomplishment, whereas the first page has nothing but man's failure." Good evening, Toastmasters, and everyone who acknowledges, respects, salutes someone else's accomplishments. Let's roll on to the world of sports. The topic for my speech was second innings for the Indian sports industry. I think that was been missed out. Let me again tell you the topic of my speech is second innings for the Indian sports industry. Yeah. Just as a coach who gives a heads up to his team, before the game starts, that's how Sharma did in India. Even I do have a game plan for the evening. First, we should understand very briefly about the global sports industry. Then, we should understand towards how sports work in Indian context. Then finally, we'll take a deep dive into understanding the impacts, the setbacks of the Indian sports industry and how the setbacks can be mitigated. So here we go. Global sports industry is worth around $420 to $620 billion and contributes 1 to 5% of GDP of some of the countries like USA, China and Germany. Now if I talk about sports in the Indian context, India is a land of 1.2 billion people. Abundance of talent and passion for sports. But still, sports in India has not been recognized as a sector, and there is no comprehensive study which talks about the dynamics of this sector. In India, Draft National Sports Development Bill 2013 is in a preliminary stage, which recognizes 66 kinds of sports in the country, but still it is yet to legalize and be a framework for the regulatory bodies. Now if we talk about defining sports, Olympics, India's medal tally count has witnessed a marginal improvement. Being 2012 the best for the country, where India was able to bag 6 medals in comparison to 1 each in 96, 2000 and 2004. In terms of the non-Olympic sports, we have cricket, where India was able to win the World Cup either in 50-50 or 20-24 match. In 1983, 2007, 2011 and 2013. In chess, Vishwanath Anand was able to bag chess championship 5 times in his entire career history. whereas Pankaj Advani was able to bag 9 times the world snooker and billiards championship. But despite of discussing all the achievements for the Indian sports industry, we still lag behind from countries like China and USA. Why? I have a question for the evening for all of you. Why? But I will explain the answer. Because some of the setbacks, what I personally feel, the biggest and the most crucial point in Indian sport industry is a lack of sporting culture in the country. There are very few parents who actually encourage their kids to pursue sports as a career. So I have, on the basis of my analysis, I have few points which I feel the setbacks for the Indian sports industry. First, there are very limited funding pathways in the country. Funding pathways, when I talk about, there is no particular blueprint or a roadmap which talks about how the fund is going to be procured and how that particular fund is going to be utilized. This particular problem gives birth to another problem, which is lack of transparency and lack of governance in the country. Now, when I talk about the lack of transparency, I mean transparency in terms of team selection, in terms of the administrative work in the overall environment, sports environment, and third, the team selection. Third, there are no specialized courses on medicines, exercises, physiotherapy, etc. Fourth, there are no specialized coaches and patent technology given to the country like India, and there is no step taken by the government or any sports organization which actually can deliver such kind of things to the sportsmen. And lastly, now everyone I'm sure must have watched Marathon. What happens to the benefits given to the players and coaches after their retirement? I think we all know about it, what is happening in the country. So I feel that if we not discuss some of the recommendations, what we can do at our level, or the government organization, or the sports organization, I think the sport would be topic. So here are a few of the recommendations what I personally feel should be taken into account. First, sports organization and government organization should actually work together to bring the awareness of the sports into the country. Second, sports should be given a separate status in the economy so that at least something is getting recognized. Third, local media and active media should be given a separate status and they should be very smart enough to cover the events of sport at every level, even the grassroots level. Because now what is happening in India is sports, it's only covered at the international level or national level that they are performing. But what is happening in the district, the state level? Thousands of players are playing at the district and state level. And all these players are expected to perform and be the part of the country's national and international level team. But sports has to be recognized in terms of understanding what they need, what they want. In the end, I would like to conclude my speech by saying it is dynamically important to have a sporting culture in a country like India, and a need for the private organization and the government to work together to be the backbone of the country. Given the current scenario, if you talk to any private players and ask them, why do you want to invest into sports infrastructure, they would say no. Because in the given circumstances, there is no foundation, there is no given roadmap which says that you can invest into the sports sector and you can earn a return after it. It is only a capital expenditure for a private organization. Today, we all can sit in a room and be spectators. But I raise my voice and expect all of you to speak over this point. In the end, I would like to throw the ball in your court by saying, we all have played sports in our lifetime, and we all know the importance of sports in one's life. So why not start supporting the cause from today? Indian sports are brand, and each citizen of democratic India should be proud of.
So we've got 30 seconds. We all have this little piece of paper. If you could put in the details and give your comments on the speech. do we wish the watchman at the gate a good morning, a good afternoon, or a good evening? Why do we do? We don't do that. Are we really free? We have our own reservations. Looking inside, we are not really free. Let's go back to the second speaker of the day. The second speaker is Toastmaster Ashwini. She will be giving a P7 speech. The evaluator for this speech will be Toastmaster Anand. I would request Toastmaster Anand to give the details of the evaluation.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster. Ashwini is to deliver Project 7 from the Company Communicator Manual. Project 7 is research topic. The objectives of this is as follows. Collect information about your topic from numerous sources. Carefully support your points and opinions with specific facts, examples and illustrations. Gather through research. The time is 5 to 7 minutes. My best wishes to the speaker. Okay.
So we have the young dynamic IT professional from PwC. She likes to do anything, anytime. That is what freedom is for her. Her subject for today would be mind, body and soul. Toastmaster Ashwini, mind, body and soul.
I recently found a similarity between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and myself. Besides both of us being very successful people, we cannot start our day without yoga. Good evening, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. How many of you over here practice yoga? That's good, 50% of us. I have been practicing yoga for the last 2 years and intend to do that for the rest of my life. Yoga is an ancient physical and spiritual discipline said to have originated in India more than 5,000 years ago. The word yoga is derived from Sanskrit root yuj, meaning to unite, to yoke, or to join. Thus, yoga, through physical postures called asanas, focus on body parts, and breathing techniques called pranayama, causes the union of the mind, the body, and the soul. Now, this can be achieved through various asanas in yoga, which are Surya Namaskar, Dhanurasana, there is Dandasana, Shavasana. Let me give you an example. In Shavasana, you're supposed to lie with your back on the floor, with your eyes closed, and your mind is supposed to be free of all the thoughts and the clutter. While you do this, you focus on your body parts one after the other, and you're breathing. The most often achieved result is a very peaceful, calm, and relaxed state. Thus, integrating your mind, body, and soul. Now, let me tell you a study which was conducted by Washington State University. 102 patients from the age of 18 to 60 were considered having spondylosis. All of them had severe pain because of this. They were made to do specific asanas twice a day for 8 weeks. After 8 weeks, their reassessment of pain showed that 100% showed complete relief from the pain. According to website statistica.com, 17 million people practiced yoga in US in the year 2008. In the year 2013, this number went up to 24 million. That is a steep rise of 40% obesity, hypertension, and many others. It helps to reduce the cost of health drastically. Lucknow-based teacher Shruti Sinha says that the other benefits include reducing stress, weight loss, minimizing pain in case of arthritis, joint pains, spondylosis. According to Anil Juneja, a new age yoga expert, yoga is the best exercise for the mind and the body. The best thing is that it can be done anywhere, anytime, and it does not require any medicines or equipment. Let me share with you my own experience. Due to long hours of work in front of the laptop, I have got mild back pain and neck pain. But 3 months of yoga practice helped me reduce the pain completely. Friends, while we give that perfect pose for our WhatsApp profile and Facebook update, don't forget to give that pose for your mind, body and soul. Over to you, Toastmasters.
Seconds to give in your feedback, please. While we're making all the arrangements for the aid speech, let me ask you a few questions. Every morning when we get up, how many of us go over to our loved ones and give them a big hug? We don't have the time. We don't have the pleasure. And we don't have that freedom. Do we realize that we have in some way lost the freedom to enjoy those small moments every morning? So what do we define freedom? Let's all introspect and think about this. So let's go on to the third speaker of the day. The third speaker of the day is giving his P8 speech. The evaluator for this is Toastmaster Sujata. I would request Toastmaster Sujata, please read out the evaluation.
Thank you, Toastmaster today. The speaker is delivering project 8 from the completed communicator manual. The speech is get comfortable with visual aids. Objectives are select visual aids that are appropriate for your message and the audience. Use visual aids correctly with ease and confidence. Time is 5 to 7 minutes. All the best to the speaker.
So today we have one of our colleagues from Dadar Toastmaster. Toastmaster, I Anil, who would be giving his PA speech. And the topic of the speech is Be Aware for Self-Care. Toastmaster Anil, be aware for self-care.
How many of you drink tea or coffee every day? Or milkshake or sweets from the milk? We all consume milk in some form or the other. But have you questioned yourself that the milk we use is pure, safe or not? Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, yes, and for those who begin their day with tea and coffee. I have been doing my part-time business of milk distribution since 2002. I would like to ask a question to each one of you. Which is your first thing you do after a milkman delivers a milk packet to you? Okay. Many of us get the milk packet or doorstep, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it is our responsibility to check the expiry date of the milk packet, which is printed on the back side of the milk packet. Also, check the four corners of the milk packet, because many culprits, what they do, they pull out some milk from the milk packet and pull out the milk from the milk packet by way of injection, or they pull it in some other bag. So it is our responsibility to check before we cut the milk bag. Also, I would like to highlight to the most important thing about the milk packet. Always check the expiry date, which is printed on the back side. I have been doing this part-time business since 2002. Let me share. Before we do, there are few tests which can be done at home. First, if the milk is adulterated by water, you can try the below method to detect adulteration. Put a drop of milk on a slanting surface. Pure milk flows slowly, leaving a white mark behind. Whereas the adulterated milk with water flow immediately without leaving a mark. Second test. If milk is adulterated by starch, you can try the below method to detect. Add a drop of tincture iodine to warm milk. Second, the formation of blue color that's indicated the presence of starch. And third, if milk is adulterated by urea, you can try the below method to detect. If the milk is adulterated by detergent, you can try the below method to detect. Shake 5 to 10 ml of sample with an equal amount of water. Leather indicates the presence of detergent. Fifth one. Synthetic milk. It is made by adding white color, white paints, oils, alkali, urea, detergent, etc. Synthetic milk has a bitter taste, bitter aftertaste, gives a soapy feeling on rubbing between the fingers and turns yellowish on the eating. You can observe the lower face, purple color for pure milk, and blue color for adulterated milk. Sixth one, synthetic milk test for protein. The milk can be easily tested by using urea strips, which are available in the medical store. These colors start show the urea test strip will show the quantity of urea present in the milk. You can see that. And last one. Test for glucose input sugar. If it is added in the milk to increase the consistency and taste, take a strip of diacid strip and dip it in the milk for 30 seconds to 1 minute. If the strip color changes, then it shows that the sample of milk contains glucose. If there is no change in the color of the strip, then glucose is absent. These are the steps which can be done at home, and there are several steps which can be done at the laboratory. And there are many individuals who do the adulteration in the milk to increase the quantity of the milk and to earn more profit. It is the right of every individual to get pure and safe milk. I have registered my registration with FDA, which is Food Development, and FDA is an authority. Its headquarters is at Mumbai. So I have registered myself with this authority, FDA, Food Safety and Food Safety. You can see that. And there are few recommended precautions which are issued by the Maharashtra FDA. While buying milk and milk products, ensure that they are fresh, properly labeled, and sold in a good package condition. As far as possible, do not buy sweets, milk and milk products without bill or purchase or guarantee. So, all people.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Anil. So we have 30 seconds. Freedom. So have we thought about freedom? Do we really live in a world of freedom? Do we have the freedom? Although we say we are in a free country, a free world, let's analyze. How many of us on our day-to-day activities as we interact with our friends, colleagues, appreciate them, appreciate their good deeds, their character, their performance? How many of us really do that? And how many of us are really interested in creating a world where each of us appreciates each other to make it a better world, to make it a free world, not just in words, but indeed a free world in our minds, in our actions, and in our thoughts. Getting on to the fourth speech of the day, we have another PA speech. We have already had the details of the PA speech, so we will not be continuing again with it. But the evaluator for this speech would be Toastmaster Natarajan. The speech is being presented by Toastmaster Anand, who is a software professional, and for him, freedom is living without fear or doubts. And the subject, Toastmaster Anand, talking on successful and fulfilling life. Toastmaster Anand.
Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Have you heard of Mr. Robin Sharma? A renowned author and internationally acclaimed speaker. Once he had come to India from North America and was staying in Shimla. The weather in Shimla was beautiful. The temperature was below 0 degrees and it was snowing all over. He was walking the street. Suddenly he came across an extraordinary garden. He entered the garden and fellow aficionados, then what he saw was the most bizarre sight. Standing tall at the center of the garden was a magnificent lighthouse. He wondered, lighthouse in Shimla? It is supposed to be the coastal area. Then suddenly, the door of the lighthouse creaked open and a 9-foot, 900-pound sumo wrestler, almost naked, just covering his private parts with black wire cable, came out. He thrust towards the flowers blooming nearby. Then suddenly, his right foot fell on a golden shiny stopwatch lying on the ground. He slipped, fell down and became unconscious. Mr. Sharma was bemused with this incident. As he approached near the sumo wrestler to help him out, the fragrance of the yellow roses blooming nearby stirred and woke him up. Intuitively, the sumo wrestler looked to his left and saw millions of sparkling diamonds lying on the floor. Then suddenly, the alarm rang and Mr. Sharma got up. Yes, he was dreaming. He pondered over his dream and realized that the 7 pictures he saw in his dream represent 7 principles of successful and fulfilling life. This is how he analyzed. The most extraordinary garden represents mind. As you sow, so shall you reap in your body and in your environment. Remember, mind is like the genie. It has one thing to say, and that is, your wish is my command. If you say, I can do it, it says, your wish is my command. If you say, I can't do it, it says, your wish is my command.
Always fill your mind with positive, serene, and inspiring thoughts. Focus on what you want, not on what you don't want. Magnificent lighthouse is a symbol for the purpose of life. What is your purpose in life? What are your goals? Knowing your goals clearly, writing them down, and reviewing them on daily basis helps you reach your goals faster. Remember, an aimless man can never succeed in any walk of life. Our hefty friend, sumo wrestler, represents the Japanese word kaizen, which means continuous self-development. All successful and happy people on this planet have some empowering rituals which they follow on consistent basis and which help them improve continuously. For example, ritual of physicality, doing exercise every day to remain healthy and fit. Ritual of nourishment, eating healthy food to get the much needed energy. Ritual of abundant knowledge, getting that daily dose of motivation by reading self-help books, biographies, autobiographies of great people, inspires you and helps you develop your mental strength, so on and so forth. The fourth symbol, wire cable, it is one of the most important aspects of everyone's life. Nothing can be achieved without this, and it represents self-control and willpower. It indicates your drive to do or achieve what you have decided to do or achieve. If you take one wire, you can break it easily. But if you stack them one after another, it becomes tougher than iron and you can't break them easily. Similarly, you develop the quality of self-control and willpower on a consistent basis by pursuing small acts of courage. The golden stopwatch represents time. The problem today is not to manage time, but to manage ourselves. We all have 24 hours. Focusing on results, what you want, and spending every ounce of your mental energy helps you reach your result faster. Yellow roses represents helping selflessly serving others. There is a Chinese proverb which says, little bit of fragrance always clings to the hands that gives you roses. If you have the drive and hunger to help somebody selflessly without any expectation, that puts you in line with great leaders and provides you ultimate fulfillment. And finally, the path of diamond. Being in the moment, living in the present. The most important moment is now. Learn to live with it and savor it. Learn for today. There will nothing be quite like this in future. So, what are those 7 principles of successful and fulfilling life? Most extraordinary garden represents mind. Have positive mental attitude. Lighthouse represents must have purpose in life. Sumo friend represents must have empowering rituals. Wire table, you must have self-discipline and willpower. A stopwatch must be able to manage yourself and time effectively. Yellow roses help others selflessly. And path of diamond, live in the moment and enjoy every moment.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Anand. So we've got 30 seconds for feedback on this subject, freedom, is so close to my heart. While I was young, I did not express my love for my closest friend, my motivator, my hero, my father. While he was there, I had disagreements, I had ego clashes, I had fights. What was stopping me? Was I not free? There was something in me which was destroying me. I did not have the freedom to open up and express my love for him while he was alive. And today, when he is no more, I regret that I was not free. So, concluding this speech today, I think we now have a better picture of what freedom really means. So we all have our own definitions of freedom. Let's go on to the fifth speech of the day. The speech is from the Advanced Communication Manual. The evaluator for this speech is Toastmaster Sunil, who will be giving us the details of the speech evaluation.
Thank you, Toastmaster. The speaker is attempting a speech from the Advanced Communication Series. This is a charity speech, and it's project 2, which is Uplift the Spirit. The objectives of the speech are to identify and understand the basic differences and similarities between inspirational speeches and other kinds of speeches. Learn how to evaluate audience feeling and establish emotional rapport. Develop a speech style and delivery that effectively expresses inspirational content by moving the audience to adopt or use. Timer, please note the time is 8 to 10 minutes.
So to present the speech today is someone I have always look up to as a leader. He is a dynamic leader with Dadar Toastmasters, and he has been an inspiration for many of us. Toastmaster Nikhil, and freedom for him is the ability to think independently of any influence. I would not like to give you the details of what he really means by that, but I would like to say that the topic is so apt for him today. The topic is the miracle mantra. Toastmaster Nikhil with the miracle mantra.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Good evening, Toastmasters and future Toastmasters. Last week, two important events happened in the city of Mumbai. First was the Standard Chartered Bombay Marathon. Anyone here participated in marathon? Let's have a round of applause. Last year, when the marathon happened, I decided next year I'm surely going to participate. And I would start training soon. Then 1 month passed. Another month passed. And then the next year's marathon came. And I was not ready. Anyone here who shares Let me not ask for a round of applause this time. The second important event that happened was the Bombay Stock Exchange reached a historic high, 29,000. I remember 2003 when I started working, and I had just a thought in mind, let me start investing in stocks. The Sensex level, believe it or not, was 3,000. And at that time I thought, next year I will start investing. And then 1 year passed. And then 1 year, another year passed. And then suddenly, last week, the Sensex was 29,000. I'm not going to ask if anybody shares. I've been a failure in fitness and also a failure in finance. But there is one area that I have not done too badly. And that is giving speeches in Toastmasters. I'm giving my ACT 7 speech today, which means I have completed 6 speeches in the advanced communication round series, which means I have also completed 10 speeches before that as part of competent communicator. Let me confuse you a little by saying that I restarted my competent communicator after giving 10 speeches in the advanced communicator gold series. And before that, 10 speeches in advanced communicator silver. And before that was ACD. So this is my second round. Before that was CC. So that makes me look more like an addict of Toastmasters rather than an aficionado. But I have deliberately kept up the practice of giving speeches. That has been possible because of one magical, miracle mantra that I have tried to inculcate. That mantra is, don't get ready, be ready. Which means, I don't book a speech slot and then start preparing for a speech. The moment one speech is completed, I start preparing for another. Many of my speeches have been delivered, or made possible to deliver, thanks to the generosity of my fellow Toastmasters who cancelled their speeches. They would cancel 3 days in advance. And education would ask me, I cancelled 2 days in advance. And I was ready. 1 day in advance? Yes. Last week in Bombay Toastmasters, 5 minutes before the meeting ended, I got an SMS from one of the speakers saying, "Oh, I won't be able to come." With education suddenly went from a very relaxed person to a very tense person because now there are only 3 speakers. I had to tell him 3 times that, okay, I will give the speech before you would leave. He's serious. And I did deliver a speech, which was supposed to be an impromptu speech. That is what the project was about. And I thought whether I'll be able to speak for the minimum time of 4.5 minutes. I managed to speak for 7 minutes 20 seconds. All thanks to this mantra. Don't get ready, be ready. Have you had the misfortune of losing any opportunities that have come your way because you were not ready? Maybe a promotion at work, maybe a business opportunity, maybe a relationship. And girl in the college who is now your best friend. And she is the girlfriend of your best friend. There are many more examples. And there is certainly merit in being ready rather than getting ready. But would you like to know where did this mantra come from? It is not my invention. I got this from Toastmaster Craig Valentine. For those who do not know, he won the World Championship of Public Speaking, the most competitive speech contest in the field of Toastmasters in the year 1999. He received a shining trophy, which he was very proud to receive. So he carried it in his hand in the plane while coming back to his home. As he stepped out of the plane and onto the terminal building, an old lady saw his Craig, and the trophy was gleaming, and Craig was beaming. And the lady asked him, "Congratulations, you seem to have won something. What is this?" "This is the World Championship of Public Speaking." "Oh, good. Speak something." remember Aesop's fable, a fox and a monkey. The fox was sharpening his claws, sitting under a tree, and the monkey, hanging down from the branch, asked the fox, "Why are you sharpening your claws? It is not the time to hunt." And the fox said, "I'm sharpening my claws now, because when it is time to hunt, I won't have time to sharpen my claws." Is it not the same concept? So get ready. Be ready. How often do we hear wisdom like this? I forget it the moment we step out of the room. If you look at my own examples of how not so good I have in fitness and finance, you will realize I'm not the best follower of my own advice. But there is one practice that I diligently follow, and that is to always be ready for my next speech. Do you think there is merit in adopting this idea, not just in Toastmasters, that will only make your degree education happy, but in life itself? Do you work in your current job, or are you working for a boss's job? Will you start to get ready for the next relationship the moment you see someone attractive? Or are you mentally already in that process of reaching that level of maturity? When a right person approaches, you are already ready to be in that relationship. Let me share with you one experience, one insight that I have received. There is no scientific proof for this, but I have come to believe this through repeated experiences. When you are ready, opportunities will come to you, rather than you waiting for them. When you are ready with a speech, in the next few meetings, there will be somebody who will cancel the speech. When you are ready for your promotion, you show that initiative and drive and quality of work. Your bosses or superiors will more likely than not notice it and find that you are being wasted at your current position. This person needs to be moved up. So remember mantra. Don't get ready, be ready. And I hope you fulfill all your wishes and goals for the rest of the life. Thank you, and over to you.
Amazing speech by Toastmaster Nikhil. A real eye-opener to most of us Toastmasters. 30 seconds to give your feedback. Call on the most important individual who keeps a tab of each and every second that the speaker is on stage. I would like to call on the timer for the day to give his report on the timings of the speeches.
Toastmaster Anuj P2 took 6 minutes 40 seconds.
Toastmaster Ashwini, P7, took 5 minutes 16 seconds. Toastmaster Anil, P8, took 8 minutes 13 seconds. Toastmaster Anil, P8, took 7 minutes 14 seconds. And Toastmaster Nikhil, ACB 7, took 10 minutes 21 seconds. Thank you very much. Let me conclude this with this paper, which you need to fill up with the best prepared speaker. Please give your Okay, so Anil will not be into the evaluation. Please. This is the most exciting part of the Toastmasters meetings that I always look forward to, and today we have one of our very dashing, smart Toastmaster Manish, who will be the table topic master of the day, and I will take it forward. Mr. Manish.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, good evening. The Toastmasters program has a tradition: get members and guests to speak at the meeting. The table topic session is that portion of the meeting that ensures this. It serves multiple purposes. First, it gives everyone a chance to speak, especially our guests. Secondly, it gets people to learn to listen, think, organize, and speak on their feet. In order to qualify for the best table topic speaker, the speakers shall speak for a minimum of 1 minute and a maximum of 2 minutes. The theme for today is freedom. And this morning I asked my 10-year-old princess Kavya what freedom meant to her. She giggled and said it meant doing absolutely anything she wanted, including unlimited pillow fights, opening a can of powder and allowing it to spread all over and around her and then dance there, and lastly, watching TV when she wanted, what she wanted to watch, as much as she wanted. Taking a cue from her, I decided to break away from the tradition and give you all the freedom to select the topics with the usual conditions applied. I picked up this game that she and me play often. It's as simple as it can be. Pick up 3 random cards, like this. Each card has an image with a word describing that image. All you need to do is use those 3 words or their derivatives in the speech. You have all the freedom to structure your own speech. Clear? The condition is, I decide you have used all the 3 words. Okay. Can we have one of the members, please? Someone to try out before we call on a guest. Please, Sienna. Toastmaster Sienna, your words are desert, dice, sundial. Desert, dice, sundial. Toastmaster Sienna.
I was once walking across a desert and I was trying to search was like a waste. But I kept it with me, thinking, okay, maybe I can find somebody who would help me and show me how to use it. I kept walking, and the more I walked, the more I thought I was lost. Because there was no way out, and everything seemed, all around me there was sand, so everything seemed similar. So I did not know whether I was actually going out. So as I was walking, I remembered I had with me in my pocket a dice which was left in my pocket from a previous game of Ludo. So I threw the dice and I was like, okay, if a 1 comes, I'll go to east. If a 2 comes, I'll go to west. 3 comes, I'll go to north, and 4 comes to south. And if 6 comes, I'll play again. And if 5 comes, I'll just wait and spend some time and think what I can do in this place. So as I kept moving around with that dice and I kept finding my way out, I kept, when it was a 1, I did the relevant thing, when it was 6, I had to play again, and it became more like a game. I suddenly realized I was enjoying myself in the desert, and just when I was having fun and enjoying myself, the alarm clock rang and I had to get up and go to work. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sienna. I just hope you weren't using that sundial in Jantar Mantar. Okay, can we have a guest, please? Anyone guest, please?
It's your chance to speak. Go ahead.
Feel free. This is a game I play with a 10-year-old. Not you, Alisa. Please. Arun, can you please pick 3 cards? Okay. Arun has a blank card, so he can use anything he wants. The 2 words he has are key and eagle. Arun, key and eagle.
I was on a desert safari. So I was just, roaming to take it on. So it was, I saw lots of eagles, in the sky. I was just roaming around because I parked my car somewhere and keys were the same and I lost. The first thing was to find out the car, and it was very difficult to find car in diesel because other direction was same in diesel. So somehow then suddenly one guy came and just threw keys to me. Then that was the first step. So I got my keys. Now the second step was to get my car. So again I look to eagles for the directions, and fortunately some of the eagles actually gave me directions. I found out my car, and with key I could go to my destination.
Next one. Yes, please. Sonia. Please, Sonia, can you pick up 3 cards? Your choice. You got one. Okay, she has a blank card. They were shuffled by my daughter. Okay, Sonia has 2 words, bells and tree. Bells and tree, Sonia.
Good evening, Toastmaster. Good evening, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, and esteemed guests. My name is Sonia. My 2 words are bells and tree. Since there is a topic which is very close to my heart, and I really value this topic, freedom. And everybody likes freedom. And who does not? And
their questions or something. But he said, no, nothing to worry about. So they went there, and the honored speaker, he was just shouting the praises on Kapil Dev, that he is such a nice bowler, and just because of him, India won World Cup and all. So Sidhu was more concerned, since he was from convent background, but even then he was more concerned about what Kapil Dev will speak, whether he will be able to understand or not. Then Kapil Dev said, I will manage. Anchor started. Can we produce one more Kapil Dev? Such a great bowler. Can we produce one more Kapil Dev? So he was on and on. It was more than 5-6 times. Then suddenly Kapil Dev stood up and said, my father is 72, my mother is 56, so this is not possible at this stage. So freedom is not, if I ask anybody what is freedom, you will start in very orderly manner what is freedom, and you will start finding out that freedom is this, freedom is, for me freedom is simple. If you use in a proper way, freedom is the key of happiness. If you use in a bad way or in an inordinate way, so this can be an evil. I would like to add one more small experience of mine that is actually happened with me. My sister's daughter, she was just 5 years old, and her homework was, she had to draw one girl's face. I was very poor in drawing, but I tried. I made a very nice face, and with long wavy hair. The moment she saw, she said, oh, what a nice snake. So if you use your freedom in a wrong way, it can become like a snake. Otherwise, it is a good face, and it is a good message, and it is really a happiness.
readiness. Your cards are soldier, crown, and harp. Soldier, crown, and harp. Toastmaster ladies.
Soldier, crown, harp. King is a soldier. King can also play the harp. Do you know of a king who was a soldier as well as a big harp? To my mind, I can think of King David. He was a soldier and he also played the harp. He was a warrior, and yet at the same time he used the harp to give glory to God. He worshiped God with all his might. He'd fight all battles with all his might, as well as worship God with all his might. Now King David, there's an interesting story why he slayed Goliath with a slingshot. He just took him on, and at that time, the king of Israel was Saul. And Saul actually was jealous of David, but he just could not stem or stop him from becoming the next king. To the extent that Jonathan, the son, actually became King Saul's best friend. So a soldier, a king who played the harp, King David, is a symbol of all those little people who can take on giant institutions, giants, big institutions, fight big battles, and make a difference just because they just continue and persevere in what you're doing. So if we can all be Davids, then we can make a difference in this world.
Anyone else? One last. Once a Toastmaster, always a Toastmaster. Toastmaster by Krish. Words are weather, dolphin, beach. Weather, dolphin, beach. Toastmaster by Krish.
I had a wonderful experience in Australia. It was a warm weather. We went to Melbourne and we were told there is a place called Phillip Island. You will find amazing dolphins. We went there. It was a warm weather, but the moment we reached Phillip Island, the temperatures were around zero. What was the third one?
I'm sorry.
It happens. Even though we are Toastmasters still. And I saw an amazingly something different I had never seen. The dolphins, they were just 6 inches in size. Said to be the smallest dolphins. And the whole picture was, at about 7 p.m. in the evening, one dolphin came out of the sea, walked a distance up to the beach, took around, took stock of the situation, went inside, and suddenly thousands of dolphins came out. And they had a majestic walk. It was a wonderful experience that we saw. Thank you.
May I now request the timer to present the report, please.
Sierra has qualified with 1.30 seconds, 130 seconds. The great mother of eagles in the desert,
disqualified? 1 minute 10 seconds. So I know you. Only Q. Okay, Sonia, 4 minutes and 16 seconds. For your freedom of speech. Seema, 1 minute 25 seconds. Linus, 2 minutes 4 seconds. Venkatesh, 1 minute 21 seconds.
Find this. This is the time to, in the second slot, take a topic speaker, let's take a topic speaker of one of the four, one of the five speakers. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Who has used his freedom so uniquely. He has given his daughter the freedom to actually inspire Toastmasters today to use something unique in our table topic system. Thank you very much, Manish. So now, to all you aficionados, I am going to give you the freedom for what you all are looking for. So we're going to be breaking for 10 minutes and we gather back again. Welcome back. I hope all you aficionados had a hearty snack and had the freedom to enjoy it. Now we're going to go on to the most interesting part where we look at the evaluations of these speeches that are and to call upon the project evaluation, I have Toastmaster Bhushan who will come forward to be the evaluation project general evaluator.
Good evening. Good evening. Like I was talking to some of the guests, the third section is about evaluation. You've seen the interesting stuff before the day. And there was a reason there were snacks and tea in the day. You have freedom to choose whatever reason that is. Well, there were evaluators even associated for each of the project. And I will be inviting them one by one. They will also be timed with a timer, 2 to 3 minutes. May I invite the first evaluator for P2, Toastmaster Rahul.
How many of you have played professional sports? 1, 2, only 2. So people who have played professional sports may have immediately got connected to what Anuj was saying. I played 3 sports in my career at a state level. The first one was chess, second one was rifle shooting, and third one and the last one was boxing. And I completely agree to what Anuj was saying, that none of these sports actually get recognized or they are kind of any backup or support at a national level, unless you are playing cricket. So what Anuj was saying, I as an audience person got extremely connected to Anuj. I liked the speech and how the speech flowed. It was well organized in 3 parts. First, he tried to bring out some of the very interesting statistics in terms of GDP, how the GDP grows. Second, he tries to bring out the fact that how it should be recognized as a sports person. And what shall we do to bring the focus back on sports? While he was doing that, I thought Anuj in particular, there are some areas for improvement according to me as a speaker. First, when you was moving from one transaction to another transaction, I thought the speed of the speech was a little bit fast. If you could have taken few pauses in your speech, pause is very important from the audience point of view. So the audience have the point to digest your topic and then move to the next topic. So that is one thing what I observed. Second thing was on the usage of the stage. So you was fixed at this particular place. The stage was not used effectively. So that is one thing what I have noticed. Another point, what I thought in your speech you have mentioned, that I think all of you know what happens to players after retirement. So when you are making that statement that what happens to the player after retirement, maybe 90% of your audience knows that what happens to the player after retirement, but maybe 10% do not know what happens to the player after retirement. So it's very important because, for example, me as an audience, I don't know what happened to player after retirement. So that is some statement when you're making. So be careful on that particular statement. Saying that, I like the start of your speech and also the conclusion. It was a very interesting start when you started with clapping and immediately catching the attention of all the audience. Topic was good and it was well researched by you. You was giving a lot of interesting facts. Eye contact was good and also your speed of the speech was also good. Only you need to learn more about the voice modulation. So that is a very important factor and you have seen Sunil how he uses the voice modulation. I also like the ending of your speech and it meets the speech objective of people. All the best for your next speech.
For those who are in the last session, definitely spike on that. For the benefit of guests, the evaluation is done in a sandwich method, CRC, comment, recommend, and comment. So first to tell what is the good part, then where the other person can improve, and third is that again overall general evaluation of how we did it, what we did. So next, I would like to call Toastmaster Anand for evaluation of these.
My dear friends, Toastmasters, do you believe in magic?
Yes.
You believe in magic? Some of you don't, but let's say you believe in magic. What if I told you, here's a piece of magic, use it and all your problems will be solved? Will you accept it with both your hands? You'll accept it? Now here's a bit of truth. I have given you magic, but you don't accept it. That's exactly the dilemma with this topic called as yoga. That's the magic in our lives which has been around us for many centuries around, but we have not grabbed it with both hands. And I'm very happy that Toastmaster Ashwini Gray spoke about this particular topic in a fair amount of detail and told us more about yoga and the fact that maybe the Firans in the US are maybe doing it more often than we are. The project is a researcher topic and today Ashwini gave us insights about yoga, starting with the definition itself, came up with certain interesting illustrations about how yoga has helped different kinds of people, gave a few quotations from yoga gurus and other teachers who spoke about the benefits of yoga-san and encouraged us to ensure that we also pick up yoga. What did she specifically do? She asked us, how many of us do yoga? Quite a few in the audience actually did do yoga, that's what at least we claimed. And she ensured that we go step by step and understand what is it that comes under yoga-san. She spoke about the body part of it, she spoke about the mind part of it, and she went into a lot of detail. She used different kinds of illustrations. She gave a story. She gave a story of an individual through the example of the guru. She gave statistics about the number of people who have increased in the US practicing from 2008 to 2011. And in this way, she ensured that the core message of the speech was backed with fair amount of research. What you'll also recollect is that Ashwini came out to be a very confident speaker. She was extremely measured in the pace of her delivery. She ensured that the voice was soft and smooth. She moved about reasonably on the stage, used her hand to a fair amount of extent, and I think all this provided a fair package, a good package to the audience as she spoke. Now, where are some of the areas that Ashwini will improve on specific to the project objectives? The first one is, yoga as a topic is a fairly known topic. Now when I talk about research, the important place where research plays a role is in giving me facts and details which I'm less aware of. For a topic I'm already sold on, which I know is a good thing for me, I need to understand what more is it that I need to do. And I think here is where actually the kind of research point that you gave to us today could have been slightly deeper. You gave us fact about in the US how many people do it, but if I were to understand what exactly is it that stops me from adopting yoga today, I think that's the kind of research that would have added more value. Now for an audience that almost knew what yoga is, the kind of details that came out was slightly, if I may say, basic at this point of time. Apart from this, the important thing to understand is that what is it the audience finally is looking to do. If your objective is to say that go and adopt yoga, then that could have been the core message of the speech. But all in all, I think it was a fairly good effort. You came on stage, delivered a great amount of confidence and voice. You gave the data, the objectives of the speech were met. By that means, a few areas to work on as we spoke about, and I'm hoping that in the future speeches you do take into account and deliver great and very well.
To the next speech, which was preempted, I would like to request Toastmasters to come.
General Evaluator, Toastmasters, guests, and all the aficionados of public speaking, good evening.
Good evening.
Toastmaster Anand today gave his Project 8 speech from a competent communicator manner, which focuses on the use of visual aids. Now, the speech that he delivered today was an informative speech, which aimed at creating awareness about the huge issue that we all face today through milk adulteration. And what I must commend him was the topic selection. Not just the fact that the topic was relevant to most, unless you're a vegan, possibly or lactose intolerant, I'm sure all of us are in some way or the other impacted by it. The second and most important thing for the topic selection was the credibility factor. Considering that he has a side entrepreneurial venture, I suppose, where he's associated with this business, it made him a very credible source. So, as soon as I knew right at the start about this fact, I was attuned to hearing more from him because I knew he knows about this stuff. The third thing, of course, which added a great deal of value was the research which went behind it. Not just the research and the facts that he gave out, he even quoted the sources in his slide. So I knew that this is coming from, say, FDA or some other research source. So definitely added a lot of value to the speech he gave. Now, what he can do to make the speech even better. The good part that I personally liked was the opening, where he actually showed some visuals and it caught the attention. Be it a cup of tea or coffee or milkshake, we all know that this is something that is going to be interesting for me. Now, the use of pictures was used throughout the slides that he had presented. Could he have done something more in this? Yes, his pictures were there. Why not use the 6x6 rule for slides? Don't have more than 6 points in the slide and not more than 6 words in every point that you give. So, use only the main points. Have the slide to be too much of a descriptive because it will, first of all, take more time. You might end up reading it and then it might distract the audience from the main points that you are conveying. So, have the slides prepared a little crisply. The second recommendation which I would like to give is the way he had a very strong opening, a stronger conclusion will complete this speech. While he gave out the message from FDA about how we can ensure that milk adulteration is checked at our end, he could have possibly connected it to the beginning where he told us about milk and milkshakes and tea or coffee. Maybe say that as you go out to the break and have a cup of tea, let's not forget the message. Or possibly, let's ensure that this nagging thought gets out of the way when you pick up the next cup of tea. So that will complete the circle, at least for me as a member of the audience. All in all, he had a very clear purpose of the speech. He had a very strong voice and more voice modulation as he goes forward. The topic was research. The stage can be looked at. He had a slide being presented here, so possibly it restricted his movement. All in all, interesting topic.
To evaluate the next period, Robin Sharma of Toastmasters. I would like to invite Toastmaster Raj.
My eyes burn as I watch you overcome your trials, stand in the fire, and still walk forward, touch your dreams. Believe it or not, this is part of an email that I just received from wisdom@robin.com. Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, friends, Anand, my dear Anand, is no less a maestro, a dream merchant than Robin Sharma. In the middle of listening to his speech, I forgot the fact that I was his evaluator, his speech evaluator. My mind wandered towards Amsterdam, thanks to tulips, and the other things in Amsterdam that you can't mention. I never saw a single tulip when I was in Amsterdam. So. And then the great lighthouse at Alexandra, and I also ventured to think of the tensile strength of my inner ear when he spoke of the symbolizing. And then there were loads and loads of things. So the garden of my mind actually ran riot with imagination. And it was then that I realized that Anand, you have this wonderful quality of speaking very simply and delivering a message across through your simplicity. So the thing about the mind running riot with imagination and the mind being your slave really rang home. And that was very beautifully said. As far as the speech was concerned, I think there was a lot of content, well-researched content, well-put-together content, and a nice sequence to seven little things that Robin Sharma saw in his dream and what they symbolize in life. So it was very, very nicely done. And I think the sincerity with which you delivered, I think rang true with the action. I'm sure a lot of people took away a lot of things from what they saw. What I really want to give you in terms of praise are two things. Firstly, as far as the presentation is concerned, there was something that you had underlined in your manual, and I remember this, seeing this as soon as you handed your manual over to me. It says you must still be so thoroughly familiar with your presentation that you can give it without using middle names. And I think that's what we see all the master presidents do, right? They just come here, they stand and talk, they don't even know what's happening behind, and suddenly, lo and behold, you find Mr. Sunil Agarwal just flicking a little thing and then, and he doesn't even look behind, right? So I know you might have been inspired by Ashwini's speech, but I think there was a lot of movement to and fro, and then suddenly coming back, and I don't do yoga, so it's hard for me to say. I don't even do yoga in my dream. But the fact of the matter is that you could have avoided looking back there. Because you knew it, and you just had to believe or tell your mind, I know this, or I am master of this. So definitely, that's an area that you could have improved, and I think there could have been a conclusion to the environment, and that was sorely missing. So the whole always has to bring more and more and bigger than the sum of the parts. That's all I want to say, but a great effort. Thank you very much for the inspiring.
When I was listening to the next speech, I was saying yes, when he said that, how many of you have started? It's very easy. I have done it many times. Then he talked about investing. I said, yeah, 2003, that is the point I got in the market. When he talked about speeches, and I was about to ask him after the meeting, how does he do that? ACB said again, he answered that in the speech. To evaluate him, I would like to invite Toastmasters Sunil.
Two important events happened today. One, Mr. Nikhil Salvi of Dadar came and I'm going to give you a dress for Toastmasters. The second, the district champion evaluator was asked to be evaluated by me. This is like Amitabh asked to evaluate Virat Kohli's trophy. speeches of a different kind. That was the project objective, and Nikhil chose a topic to perfection. He had the freedom of choice, but he boiled it down and he nailed it to the specific thing that he wanted to drive home in his speech. The speech had a kaleidoscope of things that he had gathered from his journey that he had started revisiting one time. All the experience that he has gathered from his first completing degree and the second, of inspirations, of anecdotes and fables, he put them into a mix to make a concoction that left us spellbound. What were the objectives that I really liked for once? I found Nikhil very engaging. The speech required engagement more than just delivery, and I saw him getting into contact with the audience. And he had to also review the response to his delivery, so he was also slowing down the pace of the humor that he was so consciously sprinkling according to the audience. The speech was well crafted, it had objectives, and it showed that this master wasn't prepared, he was always prepared. Looking that he has faced failure in finance and fitness, I'm sure once being quite shy, he wouldn't mind that there would be a couple of areas that he would see to get fitter in these areas to get better financial returns for his speech. I thought that you were too bullish on your investments on being on one side of his speech. And either you were trying to dodge me because I was a evaluator, but this side looked completely at sea, and I think somewhere in the last part of the speech you realized the imbalance and you tried to make up. But throughout the first 6 minutes, you were consciously only engaging in this part of the course. The second part was that I still think there's a little stiffness, which I have mentioned in your speeches, and I think as a Toastmaster, you reach such a pinnacle. There's just a small, where there's a little more fluency in what you say, because your movements are a little more pronounced. They need to get a little more fluid. And there was a certain level of detachment, which I think, but overall, your mix in a story about the fox sharpened my claws more than they did to your story. And be ready, because when 6 Jan is coming, Modi is going to run the awards, and you're going to be there, and he knows you're always ready.
I would like to invite a timer.
Toastmaster Rahul took 3 minutes 80 seconds. Toastmaster Anand took 3 minutes 25 seconds. Toastmaster Sujata took 3 minutes 33 seconds. Toastmaster Natarajan took 3 minutes 19 seconds. 90, 91, 1, not 90. Toastmaster Sunil took 3 minutes 21 seconds.
Oh, thank you. These four qualified, so you might be having a slip like this. Please fill in the third speech evaluator or the best evaluator. Everybody has this, right? Now, for the general evaluation. 5. Now, for the general evaluation. Before starting this deliberation, I would like to invite the R counter for R counter.
Made a really nice speeches today. Anuj did 2 hours, repetition twice, you know. Ashwini 5 hours, long pause 3, repetition thrice. Anil 8 hours, long pause 4, and repetition was 4. Anand hours 14, particularly that was wrong. In the table topics, Sienna 2 hours, repetition twice. Arun 2 hours, Sonia 6 hours, Seema 1 hour, and Linus and Venkatesh 12 hours. And general evaluation was.
Next, I would like to invite Abhay.
Some very good usages were roll on into the world, spiritual discipline, successful and colorful life, self-control and willpower, acts of courage, living in the moment, historic high, don't get ready, be ready. Don't get ready, be ready. Garden of my eye. Some wrong usages. Context, it should be context. Regularized, it should be regularized. Parents, it should be parents. Transparency, transparency. Recommendation, recommendation. Arthritis, arthritis. Pure, safe or not. This was the sentence which was used. It should be pure or safe. Pull out some milk. We don't pull out some milk. We pull out milk or take out milk from the packet. Try the below method. Try the method given below. Shake. It should be shake. White paints. It should just be white paint. Urea strip. It was mentioned on the board as urea strip. Somebody used big institution. It's just big institution. Fell down. It should have been fell down. In some places it was sumo, but it was sumo. Live in the moment. It should have been live in the moment. Somebody used interact. It was interact. Search a way outside. It should have been search a way out. Esteem. A-S-T. That's what it was pronounced as. It should have been esteem. Natural. Natural. Draw a girl's face. Drew a girl's face. It should have been draw a girl's face. Dolphins don't walk out. It should have been dolphins swim out. Warn. It should have been warn. Showering, showering. 1 minute, 21 seconds, somebody said. It was just 1 minute, 21 seconds. Audience person. Either it's audience, it can be audience and person. Transaction, it should have been one transition to the other. If you are using start of the speech, we generally say opening of the speech and conclusion. We don't say ending of the speech. Thank you. Sorry, I'm saying. There were 4 people who used the word of the day. Toastmaster Anand, Toastmaster Rizwan, Sonia, Toastmaster Sonia, and Toastmaster Sheila, and
Toastmaster
Toastmaster Nikita. Thank you.
Now for the deliberation. 5:57. sounded the drums, primed everybody by clapping that we are about to start in the next 3 minutes. This was well prepared till then, and everybody was ready to get started. Meeting started on time. On time, started and welcomed the President. President very, in a different manner, actually connected a story in the context of Toastmasters and invited guests to participate. After the President, PM wanted to go. We had wide range of speeches today. Very informative and very visually appealing as well. What I found could be done as per the aficionados' recommendations I have heard so far is, before calling the speaker, announce the speaker, the title, and the speaker, and then welcome the speaker, so that both get ready to get started. That is something which could have been followed today. While reading objectives, at times, people also mention the title. Title is to be mentioned by the Toastmaster of the day, not the person reading out the objective. That was another observation. The third observation in today's meeting was, we asked to read out the objectives instead of the evaluation when you are asking for reading out the objectives, so that the right terminology to be used. Then we had Table Topics Master. Table Topics Master had a very different take. We have not seen blank where people literally from the card. What could have been stressed in that section was the timing. But probably explicitly stating that could have helped, or calling the timer to mention the timing of the speeches. The evaluations were done very well. Last section, I think there was some confusion in the last section about the word. But I think overall the meeting went well, started well on time, and we had a wide range of speeches. With that, I would like to hand over the control back to Toastmaster of the day.
Toastmaster Bhushan. I hope we all had an amazing evening today. We really enjoyed these amazing speeches. And now I would like to hand over the dais to President Arvind. President Arvind, Toastmaster Arvind.
So as we come to the end of the program, there's one little job that you all have to still do. There's one more line that you need to fill up and to put in the best of the big three. That's the Toastmaster of the day, the Table Topic Master, or the General Evaluator. One of these three. Please put the name in and pass the sheet on to the person at the aisle so we can collect it easily. Pass it on to the person at the aisle. And once the results are being computed, we like to have some feedback from the guests. I asked you what you wanted, what you expected out of it, and we'd like to hear what you feel now having witnessed the meeting. Can we have Pankaj?
When I came here, I was this is one of the very amazing kind of experience that I had. Public speaking is something which is like swimming. You cannot do it without talking. Listen to some of the very amazing speeches. listen to many good tips that happen. This is something which I will make much more richer when I go back. It's 3 hours very well like that.
Just before coming to the meeting, I spoke to Ms. Shivani. I was very much comfortable when I spoke to her. And when I entered the room, I felt like I was like an alien. I don't know anybody. So once when I started speaking to each one of the seniors, when they spoke to me, I felt very much comfortable. And I feel that I felt that I belong to you guys. Thank you very much.
When I came here, I was a little nervous because I'm not used to being in alien environments. Yeah, but seeing all these smiling faces and all of these confident people, it cheered me up. And when the table topics were going on, I wanted to come here, but I hesitated So from the next time I'll participate even more. But it was a really good experience and I would like to be a part of this.
Arun, would you like to say something? She wants. Yeah, one second. Please come.
I would just like to tell that when I was coming from Malad to Parla, I had one block in my mind whether I will be able to step in here or not. When Sienna approached me with a fantastic smile, I felt that okay, the half journey is over. But when I have completed this, I am thinking that I have made a right choice. Thank you very much.
I think all these speeches were, informative as well as inspirational. So I think the biggest message that I got today was, rather than getting ready, I think you have to be ready for, every time you have to be ready for the situation. I think other sessions were informative as well. I think this is one of my New Year's resolution, and I started on last week of December with my first session here, and this is my second session as a guest. So next session I would like to be a member rather than guest, and would like to start my journey again, and want to be this time successful.
Is there anybody who chose my person who want to come and have a word? Seema, would you like to come and say something about the meeting? It's a joint meeting. Yeah. Come. Seema is the president of the Toastmasters Club.
In the break time, I was sharing my experience for the today's meeting, though it was just a first half. I was really stressed out and I was frustrated. So because of some project I didn't complete today and I was aspiring to and around 4 o'clock. So I said whether I could reach or not on time, but thank God I reached at 6:10 over here. And because all the speeches that I heard, I was really relaxed in the break time and I had a really nice time. And I'm very happy that I had a joint meeting with media and I'm looking forward to meet you all again and again. Thank you so much.
is a special day. There should be a spring in a step.
Because Obama is there.
Seema is married. Today is Basant Panchami, the start of the spring season, and worship of God is learning, and we are just honored that today we have a Toastmasters meeting, and a very good year awaits us of learning. I'm standing in front of you because I have one good news and one bad news. Which one do you want to go? Don't tell me what else can you bring but bad news. The bad news is that we had hoped to make oration a big and bigger, but we couldn't take it to the conclusion that we wanted. The good news is we have added 60% more capacity, and they have increased the capacity to 750 for oration. We proposed to close membership because of the unprecedented response we got in the first 2 weeks when we launched, and the entire 450 seats were taken in 2 weeks, and we were struggling for the last 2 months. What do we do? Because we had challenges on getting an appropriate venue. So do you want to know which is the new venue?
Yes.
Yeah, one can.
Well, the new venue is the YP Chavan Auditorium, 400 meters away from Kalware, closer to the Gateway of India. All the logistic advantages that we had discussed while choosing the venue still exist. And now, all those who miss the bus is a time, because there are already more than 100 in waiting list whom we have accommodated before we open the convention. So please look your mailboxes, both for yourself, for your colleagues in your club, for your friends in other clubs, and of course any prospective Toastmasters or those Toastmasters or non-Toastmasters who want to enjoy the 3-day gala event happening from 15th to 17th May. The bookings will open, I think, on 1st of February, because this week is left for those who are waitlisted to complete, and so that we know exactly how many seats are there. So how many of you have already registered for oration in this room? So there are quite a few. Talal, you're waiting for audience. I mean, what are you waiting for, honestly? You're not sure, you're not here, you haven't got a wise permission. Incidentally, whomever you come with, no marriage certificate will be asked. So you can use this opportunity in various ways. So there are, currently we have the support which as time progresses we will be calling out for role players, for support, logistic, and I think all the other clubs also are most welcome. This is not something that we only doing, but we are very excited that our target was 1,000 to be honest. We tried 1 month to get a venue where we could raise it to 4 figures. But then there were too many challenges, and we then chose the second best option of taking to 750, which is good, not bad. 750 is okay. Incidentally, the best attended district conference till now has been 340. So in that respect, I mean, it will be a great thing, rubbing shoulders with 750 Toastmasters for 3 days. It is self-respecting in respect to whether speaks or not. Do you think? So that was the news for you, and you all have any queries, you are most welcome to write, but all those who have missed the bus, this is your chance. Those who your friends, either inside the club, outside the club, who are not even Toastmasters, you all can look to enroll them as quickly as possible. And those who are doubtful, please book it, because there is one free transfer available. A free transfer means without any cost. If before the event you realize you are not able to make it, you can transfer it to somebody else and there will be no fee for it. The second transfer involves cost, but the first transfer is free. That's all, President.
Before I close, I'd like Dadar, who is another area of government, come up.
Thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure being here. Incidentally, I've been in Bombay for over 2 years, never visited BTM. I have a valid excuse for it. My home club, Mulund, meets at exactly the same time. So the occasion never really came, but I'm so glad to be here. And for all those visiting Toastmasters or prospective Toastmasters, I think what I personally enjoy by visiting other clubs is, first of all, you get to meet a lot of people that you usually don't get to meet otherwise unless it's a conference or a contest. So a lot of networking, and secondly, each club has its own culture, its own flavor, and that definitely is a very interesting value add for me as a Toastmaster. You get to learn from everyone. So I thoroughly enjoyed it here. I invite you all to my clubs, my 5 clubs, be it Dadar, Vikhroli for Accenture, Crown and Pandu, and Mulund Toastmasters, or the one in Karsat. You're most welcome. And I'm sure we'll all have a great time, be it any Toastmasters club. Can I take this?
What did you do a job? I won't let you go. You've not enjoyed our meeting. You have to do a job. No free lunch. No free lunch. Nothing is free in this world.
It's dinner time.
The best prepared speaker. Nikhil. The best table topic speaker. Yes. The best evaluator. Sunil. Come on, area.
So Nikhil, I can sit in the near the room.
And the best of the big 3.
Something for I know.
Next time.
I must say the timer, first time, did a great job. Good job. That brings us to the end of the program. Our next meeting is on the 14th of February. It's Valentine's Day. And we look forward to a colorful meeting. Thank you and so speed slots, go, players, etc. There's a mail coming along after this. Ask for it. Thank you and good night. See you next week.